I'm not a teacher, I'm not a trainer, I am just a student in the journey of life. And I continue to be a student, I would remain a student. The biggest title that I can attach to myself with pride is student Surya Prakash Mohapatra. So today is a great occasion. Two great leaders of our country, the great Mahatma and the former Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri. The more you talk about them, the more remains to be said about them. The sacrifices they have made, the contributions they have made to make this country free. The fact that we are walking free in this country today is because of these leaders. We often spend hours and hours together in the boardroom talking about leadership. But Lieutenant Colonel Mohapatra is here. He knows what leadership is all about. Leadership is not discussed in the boardroom. It's not talked about in conference rooms like this. That leadership is demonstrated on the ground. Leadership is about experience. It's not about lectures. It's not about talks. It's not about anything else. Leadership is on the ground. That's what leadership is all about. So I chose this topic. I want to talk about leadership. Thousands of books have been written on the topic leadership. Hundreds of speakers have been talking about leadership across hundreds of countries. This is not a new topic. But I want to share my perspective about leadership, what I have understood about leadership. I would like to share my perspective. I'm not going to talk about any theories and concepts. The management books have loads of theories and concepts written there. I'm not going to talk about that. Today I'm going to talk about my personal perspectives, what I believe leadership is all about. I personally believe leadership begins with a purpose. It begins with a vision. A leader without vision is no leader. Leadership needs to have a purpose. That's the most important thing. The great Mahatma had a purpose in his life to make this country free. That was the purpose that he had. The great Lal Bahadur Shastri had a purpose to make this country free, to make this country a sustainable economy, to make this country a great country, and he talked about Jai Jawan, Jai Kishan. So these leaders had great purpose, great vision, backed up by an immensely strong cause. A vision without a cause is not a vision. The cause is so strong that they could carry a movement with that cause, and they could carry hundreds and thousands of people with them to make that vision successful. What is the purpose in my life? I walked into an engineering college yesterday, met a bunch of students. I was asking them, what's the purpose of your life? Why have you enrolled for this engineering curriculum? Almost everybody told me, we want to get a job. We want to get a job. I said, what's the purpose of your life? He said, we want to be successful in the job. I want to work for a multinational company. I want to get into a good job, get a good position. I said, is that the purpose of your life? They were quiet. They did not know what to say. There was an Indian sadhuji who was walking on the road, and he met a young man who was pursuing his education in one of the educational institutions. A conversation breaks out between the sadhu and the young man who was pursuing his graduation. The sadhu is asking, boy, my dear son, what are you doing? He said, I am studying. The sadhuji asked him, why are you studying? He said, I am studying because I want to get a certificate. I want to get a diploma or degree. The sadhuji asked, why do you want a degree? He said, I want a degree because I want to get a job. The sadhu said, why do you want a job? He said, what kind of question this sadhu is asking me? Who doesn't need a job? Well, I want to take care of my family. I want to live, sadhuji. He said, why do you want to live? Why do you want to live? He did not know. He had no answer. You know what was his response? He said, sadhuji, I cannot die. That's why I want to live. So, when you ask young people what's the mission of their life, what's the purpose of their life, they are lost. The sadhuji said, the objective of life is not to live a life for yourself. The objective of your life is to live a life which is greater than living a life for yourself. The famous scientist Albert Einstein, in his article, The World as I See, he says, the shirt that I'm wearing today is stitched by somebody. The food that I'm eating has been cooked by somebody. The house I'm living in has been built by somebody. The book I'm reading has been written by somebody. The road I'm walking on has been constructed by somebody. When it comes to somebody else, I run away. My entire life is dependent on somebody else. For the food I eat, for the book I read, for the clothes I wear. But when it comes to somebody else, I simply run away. And Einstein, the famous scientist, is saying, who is supposedly a scientist, a man of scientific wisdom, is talking about social issues, and he's saying all the miseries of this world is primarily because the human beings have become self-centric, because their life revolves around themselves. So they have become self-centric. Think about, I'm an IT professional, I come from the IT industry, and all of you know about Microsoft as a great organization. Bill Gates founded it. And Bill Gates went on to become the richest man in the world. My dear friends, did Bill Gates found Microsoft to become the richest man in the world? When he started Microsoft, did he have any idea that he is going to become the richest man in the world? No. He just had what purpose? The purpose was he wanted to make a software which every human being, common man can use. Before the Windows suite of products came in, the software was so complex, the DOS and then the Unix and those applications were so complex, and he wanted to introduce a software which the common man can use. He made Windows extremely user-friendly. He went on to become the richest man in the world is another side of the story. Think about Captain Gopinath. He wanted to start an airline, and his company was Air Deccan, which we started, and he went on to make it one of the most profitable airlines in the country at that point in time. Did he have any idea that he will make it highly profitable? No. He started this company because he had a purpose. The purpose was to start an airline where every Indian can fly. Ratan Tata started Nano as a car. He wanted to manufacture this car. I don't know how profitable his company is, but he had a vision behind that. And the vision was he wanted to make a car which a common Indian can afford to buy. So ladies and gentlemen, my dear Indians, all of us need to look back, reflect, and ask ourselves, what is the purpose of my life? And this purpose of your life has to become larger than getting a job, earning a decent living, making a lot of wealth. It has to be larger and bigger than that. It might sound very theoretical, it might sound very philosophical, but history has proved again and again and again that when the purpose is about making money and accumulating wealth, people have not become successful. But when the purpose is larger than making money, the larger than accumulating wealth, then those people, those individuals, organizations have become successful. We saw this. Captain Gopinath sold his company to another man who had a different purpose in life. And we saw what happened with that organization, that company. So I'm not going to get into the details of that. So what's important is the purpose in life, which has to be larger and bigger, and the leadership is all about that. This purpose is not enough unless you are passionate about that person, that purpose. One has to be passionate. The purpose has to be backed up by passion, and the passion is nothing but madness. It's all about being madness. And unless you are mad about your purpose, then you are not going to achieve that. Passion is about, you have spent 20 hours on your purpose. You are still not exhausted. You are still energized. You are still feeling that you can go on and on and on without getting tired. That proves that you are passionate, you are excited. And unless we have that passion and excitement, we cannot really carry our purpose. What's more important again is courage. And the army man who's sitting among us today, he has lived that, he has demonstrated that, he has experienced that all his life. And whether you are in the army or you're a civilian, if you want to become leader, you have to demonstrate that courage all the time. And the true test of a leader is at the time of crisis. A leader can be a great talker, can be a great communicator, can be an extremely good friend, but the true test of the leader is at the time of crisis. If the fire breaks out in the building, he's the last one to leave the building before anybody else. He makes sure that everybody else leaves before, everybody else safe before he thinks about his safety. It doesn't work this way. And when the airlines, they say, first wear the safety mask yourself before helping others. In leadership, it doesn't work that way. You make sure that you help others before you really go ahead and then think about yourself. So it's about the courage. Mahatma Gandhi demonstrated that courage. He was an Indian who went to South Africa and who had the cause to fight against racism, and then he proved that with great determination and courage. Lal Bahadur Shastri demonstrated that. Many leaders demonstrated that. Subhash Chandra Bose demonstrated that. He said, give me blood, I'll give you freedom. So that was the courage that he had. That's what leaders require. Most important thing, leadership is about inspiring people. Unfortunately today, leadership has become about business results, outcomes, objectives, revenues, profits. That's what leadership is all about. Today in the business world, leadership is measured by the revenues that you bring for your company, the market position that you create for your organization. But leadership is not about metrics and numbers, it's about inspiring people. We saw that with great organizations. Infosys brought back Narayan Murthy because they felt that the leadership has become so metrics and process centric. They have great processes, they have great systems, great practices, but they were so driven by metrics and numbers, they realized that they need to bring him back. He has moved on. We have another leader today. That's a different story. But the reason that they wanted to bring him back was because they wanted to have a leader who can inspire people. So let me share this interesting story with all of you. There was once upon a time in the jungle, there used to be an elephant, and there was a little bird, Maina. Elephant and the Maina. They were two great friends. They were so intimate friends, they could not stay away from each other even for a few seconds. Bosom friends. One day in the morning, when the little bird wakes up, she finds that the elephant is looking very, very sad and cheerless. The Maina walks up to the elephant and asking the elephant, my dear friend, what happened to you? Why are you so sad? The elephant said, no, I'm not sad, everything is okay, don't worry. The little bird said, no, I am your best friend, I know. Your feelings are in my pulses, so I can know how you're feeling. I know you're not feeling okay. What has happened to you? The elephant said, I'm sad, that's true, but you can't do anything about it. Don't worry, just leave it. The little Maina said, no, I'm your friend. You have to tell me what has happened to you. Why are you so sad today? The elephant said, this morning when I got up, I realized that I cannot fly like you in the sky. You can fly whenever you want to fly. I cannot fly. Little bird said, this is what you are talking about. You're worried about this, such a simple thing, small thing. You can fly. The elephant said, you are rubbing salt on my shoulder, on my wound. You know that I can never fly, and then you are just kidding me. The Maina said, no, you can fly. Just do as I say. Just follow what I'm saying. You will be able to fly in the sky. Elephant was so excited and eager to know how can he fly. The little bird went up to the branch of the tree, started flapping its wings. Small little feather